a hero to his adoring public, Filipino superstar Manny Pacquiao, and a swashbuckling Mexican who has never shirked a challenge, Oscar Larios. The two stars in what could be a modern-day remake of the Thriller in Manila. Araneta Coliseum, where two legends combined for the original Thriller in Manila. Joe Frazier stopped on his stool after 14 merciless rounds by Muhammad Ali. It's true to say that Manny Pacquiao, the former world fly and super bantam champion, is the biggest phenomenon there since. And after his exploits against Barrera, Marquez and Morales at feather and super feather, he's home. It's Oscar Larios, himself an outstanding former world super bantam champion, who has to handle the crowd here, the occasion, and a jump of 2 weight divisions. But if anyone can do it, he can. For commentary, Jim Watt and first Adam Smith.
So here in the setting made famous for the legendary Thriller in Manila, it's time for a modern hero here in the Philippines to prove he's one of the very best pound-for-pound fighters at the moment. The cult icon Manny Pacquiao, back after the dazzling dismantling of Eric Morales, to tackle another top Mexican in Oscar Larios, who has been a world super bantamweight champion for many years, but here moving straight up into the super featherweight division, and Jim against this fiery southpaw.
Yeah, well, it's tough coming up 1 weight division, but to come up 2 weight divisions and then face Manny Pacquiao, who is definitely one of the most dangerous fighters in the world today. He's asking an awful lot of himself, but I think he's at the stage in his career. He's been at world level for 5 or 6 years. I think he's looking for the big payday, and this is a fight. He's getting that big payday, and a loss wouldn't really harm his career greatly. So it's a chance well worth taking, but it's a big chance.
And Pacquiao has the nation's hopes on his shoulders. Hugely popular all around the Philippines. Larios, who's been in Japan for a month training, trying to settle here in the opening round. Needs to take the play away from Pacquiao quickly. Yeah, well, his big strength is his work rate over 12 rounds. I mean, he can work non-stop for 3 minutes of every one of those rounds. That's what he has to do with Pacquiao, but the problem, of course, they can't match him for power, and I feel Pacquiao is improving. I think Freddie Roach is finally getting through to him with his technique. He's not just a slugger these days, a bomb-happy slugger. There's a lot more method, so to me he's still improving. Yes, they've worked on that technical superiority in the ring. He ground down Eric Morales in a thriller by working his body. And maybe that's what he'll do to Larios, test the strength of the Mexican, who's starting okay, trying to put the combinations together and not really overawed. So you can see the difference in the impact of the punches when Pacquiao lets them go. His defence is good. A little bit of the early shuffle. Well, he's picked a nice venue to do that. Yeah, looks relaxed, Pacquiao. He does hit with scything authority. Good opening round. The Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City in the Philippines. How do you think they both got down to business? Well, a positive start from Larios. I think he realises he must make an early impression, but the powerful shots, the punches that counted in the opening round, came from Pacquiao. Scheduled for 12, of course, in the 9'4" super featherweight division. No world title on the line, doesn't really need one, does it? The white trunks with no fear, as always, for the southpaw from General Santos City, Manny Pacquiao. and the blue of Oscar Chololo Larios. 2 years older at 29 and a major underdog here.
Yeah, and Pacquiao looking a bit more businesslike at the start of the second here, leading with the left hand. That's where his power is. So I think he's looking to put on a show here, maybe looking for a quick finish.
Predicted that he would get Larios inside 6 rounds. There have been one or two rumours that he may not have trained quite as doggedly as always. Pacquiao's been involved in this promotion and been living up the hype as well. But Freddie Roach wouldn't have allowed that to happen, the trainer.
No, I don't see that. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, huge distractions. Yeah, he is a superstar. But there's some nice boxing here from Larios, and he's standing his ground. He's not backing off. He's slipping the punches, blocking them, always in a position to come back with counters. There's a little feint trying to draw that southpaw lead.
Yep, he's only ever lost 4 times in 61 fights. Unassuming type Oscar Larios, but well respected within the trade. And look at this from him, trying to meet Pacquiao, but there's the advantage in power.
Yeah, it's just a natural power. Larios with his pride, he stood his ground just maybe a little bit too long there. But this is a decent round from Larios.
Larios coming off a defeat to Israel Vasquez, an old rival. But before that he won 17 in a row, made 8 successful defences of his World 8 Stone 10 crown. So very much deserves to be in there. It's a big opportunity if he can take Pacquiao out in the Filipinos' home territory.
Well, this has been a good round from Larios. Not really allowed Pacquiao to set up any big attacks. Still prepared to stand his ground.
Yeah, work rate from Larios. Trying to move his upper body. Settling okay. The corner of Oscar Larios. And there is father Teodoro, Edison Reynoso and Miguel Diaz, as always.
A little clash of heads there, just as they came close, but you can see a bit more thought in what Pacquiao was doing now. But I just thought he was outworked in that round.
Former 2-weight world champion Manny Pacquiao, world flyweight and then up at super bantamweight. This at super featherweight, as Oscar Larios goes on the attack and just stuns Manny Pacquiao. Big left hand, catches him on the ropes. Well, this is something.
Yeah, but I think Pacquiao has underestimated the power of Larios.
An onslaught from the Mexican at the start of the 3rd round. The crowd tried to react to their hero, who taps his gloves, regains his composure, but he was under pressure there.
And we do have to remember Pacquiao has been stopped, he's been on the floor, so he is not superhuman, and if he's not in the best of shape here, well, this man, we'll find out about it, because he, as I said, can work for 12 rounds non-stop.
There's a real gladiator, Oscar Larios. Very hard, determined and spirited man. There's a right hand through the middle. Occasionally Pacquiao shows a leaky defence. His head movement has been a slight criticism in the past.
I think it's possible Larios may be a better fighter out of the super bantamweight division. He's 5'8". He must have tremendous problems making the weight. So a big ask, as we were saying, coming up 2 divisions, but he may be better round about the 9 stone mark than he was in the super bantamweight division.
Pacquiao just trying to measure his punches. More of a focus now. Just a wake-up call at the start of this session. Mind needs to be on the job, not on the glamour around it. And that's good work from Pacquiao.
Now that was classy stuff there from Pacquiao. Again, leading with the left hand, but coming back with the southpaw right hook. I think caught napping in the first half of this round. Don't know maybe if he's landed enough punches to turn it round. A little bit of blood there.
There's a cut, yep, cut to the left eye of Oscar Larios. And that was the same eye that curtailed his fight with Israel Vasquez in this very round. Lost his WBC Super Bantamweight title that night. So after a good first 20 seconds to the third, trouble for Larios.
Yeah, but he's the one causing the problems. I think Pacquiao's a little bit surprised by the grit he's showing and the physical strength. He's not a massive puncher, but he's very strong.
What a round. There's the damage to Larios, who has been cut prone all the way through his career. Miguel Diaz will have to work on it, but he had some success in that round.
Yeah, just a couple of signs that Pacquiao maybe underestimated. I mean, there was a big left hook roundabout here. That was the one that really shook Pacquiao up. I think that one had him in some trouble, and it took him quite some time to recover from that, get his show back on the road. Good round again from Larios.
Tries the body shots, Oscar Larios, who's fought in Japan before, defending his World Super Bantamweight title in the past, so doesn't mind travelling. And his team were very confident of derailing Manny Pacquiao, who may have an eye on a rubber match with Eric Morales sometime in the autumn. One apiece they are. Just dabs at the eye again. Could give him trouble, Larios, but I'll tell you something that won't be quenched, Jim, is his spirit. Never has been.
Never has been, yeah, and I think that the length of his punches are what's troubling Pacquiao. I think some of the time he's setting up an attack, thinks he hasn't moved into range as yet, but he's been pinned with the long punches.
Pacquiao, who has stopped 33 of his foes inside the distance, including Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. That was a really big win for him. Now he'd love another one. And he's starting to get into gear, wind up the punches. So very, very watchable.
Yeah, big improvement in Pacquiao's work here. Again, it's the left hand, he's leading with it. It's the heads coming together, but it wasn't the heads that caused the eye injury.
No. Punch caused it. So if the bout is stopped due to that injury, Larios loses. He'll know about that because that's what happened last time round. Still trying to use the height and reach advantage, Larios, and aiming for the right hand to try and trouble Pacquiao.
Again, when he gets close, you can see the meteor punches coming from Pacquiao, but the pace and the length of the punches still giving him some problems. Still doesn't look all that happy. I think he would have fancied he'd be dominating by now.
Goes to the body for the first time, Pacquiao. Straight punches, uppercut crept in, fast hands.
See, a couple of times in the past, Freddie Roach has worried because he depends too much on his left hand. He's beginning to do that again here. Not boxing his way in, but he is definitely landing the better punches here.
That's a round for Pacquiao. Well, the president of the Philippines, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, is at ringside There's our 15,000 Filipinos and millions watching on screens around the country.
Not the smoothness in Pacquiao's work yet. Just to get back to the corner there, you can see the eye still leaking.
Yep, Oscar Larios' left eye cut open in the third round of an engaging contest here. Super featherweight division. Can't really rank Larios in the 9 stone 4 brigade yet, because this is his first fight. Jumped up, missed out the featherweight division, and in he goes with arguably the best super featherweight in the world. Very tough ask, but he's holding his own.
Yep, he's standing his ground when you would expect him to back off. The jab is giving Pacquiao problems. The southpaw jabs coming back are no problem whatsoever for Larios. And Pacquiao has the look of the one who's not all that happy. I think he would have fancied he'd be dominating the action by now.
Often starts very fast, Manny Pacquiao. He floored Juan Manuel Marquez 3 times in a dramatic opener of their contest, which ended in a draw for the world featherweight titles.
Defence is a little bit tighter now, Pacquiao. The hands up, blocking and trying to counter. Yeah, I don't think it's the fight that Pacquiao had planned. Oh, good uppercut.
Yeah, picked that one very well, Manny Pacquiao. It looks more solid and rounded at 27 than he did earlier on in his career, and Larios just nods an appreciation at that shot. That was class from Pacquiao.
It's the leading left hand from the southpaw stance that's been giving Larios all the problems. I think he's expecting the jab, he's thinking about countering a jab, and the straight left lead's coming through.
He's hard and grizzled, Larios, but maybe a touch predictable in this sort of company, as Pacquiao swifts in with a body shot and back out. I mean, he's become a very, very good fighter, Jim.
Yeah, but I don't think there's an awful lot of smoothness. He's calmed down a little bit in this round, Pacquiao, trying to pick the punches a little bit more. But at times, signs that he could become left-hand happy again, which, as I say, Roach found a big problem. But you can see he's much stronger in the exchanges now.
And interestingly, it was the right hand that was working so well, especially to the body, that allowed him to stop Eric Morales for the first time in the Mexican's life.
But having said that, I mean, he has lots of success with the left-hand lead. But he should be coming back with the right hook afterwards and maybe switch to the body. But still, the better punches, I think, coming from Pacquiao.
Just slowly back to his corner there, Larios, under fire with the precision of this man Pacquiao. Freddie Roach, who trains him at the Wild Card Gym in Hollywood, and they have to lock the place up from all the Filipino fans that try and see Manny.
Well, there's a couple of examples of the accurate left-hand lead from the southpaw stance.
Here's the 6th round, 232nd of Pacquiao's career, 372nd of Oscar Larios. Larios started in January '94, so 12 and a half years ago. Thoroughly accomplished career, and big payday he's getting against Pacquiao.
Larios is punching from out of range here, which is very dangerous. Pacquiao was quick with the counters. He's going to have to step in a little bit closer with those punches.
So Pacquiao, who's settled in the super featherweight division over the last year and a half, maybe the physically stronger down the stretch.
I mean, it's nice the way he's popping the left hand out and then just stepping to his own right, so there's no counter. He's well out of vision by the time Larios tries to come back with the counter. This is clever stuff from Pacquiao. Not too often I've said that in the past.
Miles there.
I think it's the southpaw and the orthodox. You're always going to get the leading feet tripping over each other. It's not intentional. The referee should stay out of it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Bruce McTavish of New Zealand, who lives in the Philippines, as Pacquiao goes through the motions, rattles the hand speed, and gets out of the way.
The first signs that Larios is struggling up in the 9 stone 4 division. I mean, he had no answer to what Pacquiao was doing there.
Razor sharp, speedy, and the combinations are starting to flow from Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, first signs that Pacquiao could be looking at the stoppage here. Larios in big trouble.
Body shots from Pacquiao. Larios brave. Comes back with a couple of his own. But it is growing more one-sided.
Larios only fights one way, so what he's been doing up to now, he will continue doing. So signs that Pacquiao could be scoring the stoppage that I know he fancies.
Yeah, he will want that, crave that for his adoring public. Mouth open of Oscar Larios. It's been a hard round for him, this one. Just unable to cope with the southpaw skills, the pace and the precision.
He's going to go right hook.
All calm from Freddie Roach, and you've got Pacquiao just moving ahead now.
Couple of points up already, but a great show so far from Larios. But I get the feeling when things turn against him, can he come back from onslaughts like this? I mean, what an introduction to the 9 stone 4 division for him.
Second half. Super featherweight fight. Big attraction around the world. The white trunks of the southpaw Manny Pacquiao in his 47th fight, 11-year career, up against Oscar Larios in fight number 62. Plenty of experience and quality in the ring, but is Pacquiao just that level above? And 2 years younger, and Larios has to go down here in the 7th round, and there is the big difference. Pacquiao scores the first knockdown of the fight, and that could be a warning of big things to come.
See, Larios is walking straight forward. He's used to keeping the other guy occupied with the pace and the amount of the punches he's throwing, but the problem with Pacquiao, he's coming right through those and landing bigger punches. That was a beautiful clip bang onto the chin.
Larios was down in the first round against Israel Vasquez last time, but normally has a pretty good chin. Oh, he walks into another left hand, and he's teetering and has to hold. Pacquiao moving into overdrive and showing no signs of stopping, really putting the punches together well, and Larios is in trouble.
He's in huge trouble. We know from his past career Larios will never look to hide. He's going to stand there and try to trade with Pacquiao, so really stoppage looking on the cards here.
Hit him, don't hit him. We're holding him.
He's got to suck this up, hasn't he?
Yeah, but at the moment I think he's just looking for a breather. Larios is throwing punches just to try to keep Pacquiao at bay, just to get a little bit of a breather. But this is better, this is more positive. but has not been a round that he's enjoyed.
Head punches from Pacquiao. Still Larios tries to keep his feet moving, comes back with a right hand, but they don't have the same impact. It's another big round for Manny Pacquiao, who smiles to the people as the blood continues to trickle. The Filipinos already beginning to celebrate, and good reason.
Yeah, that nice little right hook, jolting left hand, scoring the knockdown there. Left hand followed up with the left. Just touched down, wasn't badly hurt, but he took a lot of solid punches in that round.
So Oscar Larios cut in the third, floored in the seventh, and more importantly, the tide really seems to have turned away from him. How can he get back into this? He has scored 36 knockouts himself, but most of late have gone either the distance or into the sort of 10th, 11th, 12th rounds. He's not got dynamite in those fists. Can he claw his way back?
Well, I think the problem is that he only fights one way. No, he won't start boxing, he won't start looking to hide. I just seem to turn over on his ankle there, Pacquiao. Bit of sportsmanship from Larios backing off, but there, as we've seen so often in the past, he's prepared to grit his teeth and just try to get his way back into this. Don't think he has the power.
Yeah, they've got huge respect for each other, these two. Disciplined fighters, highly thought of. And Pacquiao has obviously trained harder than those rumours were suggesting. He's hit with a stick on his body by Justin Fortune in the wildcard gym. That tones him up.
I mean, this is really controlled stuff from Pacquiao. He doesn't have to go hunting Larios. Larios is right in front of him doing the same things, a little bit maybe too predictable. So Pacquiao working at his own pace, his feet are set, so these punches are really solid.
Isn't that what we saw when he fought Morales last time, Pacquiao? More controlled, not so haphazard.
Yeah, but when he has to go hunting for opponents, then his balance sometimes lets him down. Even you see little glimpses of it there. But the fact that Larios is not looking to make this an easier night, he's right in front of him, still trying to get himself back into the fight, is really suiting Pacquiao. Pacquiao's controlled, he's picking his shots, really looking the part.
And for Larios, it's always been volume when he overcame Wayne McCulloch a couple of times, Willie Horeen, and he just can't get through the tighter defence of Pacquiao, and more importantly, deal with Pacquiao when the Filipinos on the attack right now.
Pacquiao is pouncing on every mistake from Larios. I mean, there was a little nod of approval. They were both kind of fainting, trying to draw leads from the other, and neither would make the move, and Pacquiao just a little nod of approval. He knows he's in with a real good pro here.
Larios knows too that he's fighting somebody just a little bit special. This is hard, very hard for Oscar Larios. Well, apart from a couple of early career defeats for Manny Pacquiao, he's only been beaten once in recent times by Eric Morales, which he avenged by stopping the Mexican. Can he halt Morales' compatriot Oscar Larios? There's no doubting the machismo and the heart of the gladiators from that particular country. But Pacquiao will so want to finish things before the final bell. Do you think he will?
Yeah, well, the signs are, I mean, Larios is boxing the kind of fight that Pacquiao is enjoying. He doesn't have to go looking So he's setting, these are really powerful punches. Larios is tough, we know that, he's gritty, he's proud, but he's been caught cleanly far too often. Still managing to come back with his own.
Yeah, Larios was taken out in a round by Israel Vasquez. His other two defeats were on cuts, apart from one on points controversially against Willie Harim, so only legitimately stopped once in his life.
I mean, Pacquiao is not pressurising Larios, he's just fighting in little spurts. I mean, he's having the last word in all the exchanges, he's landing the better shots, but he's not going looking for Larios, he's actually trying to draw him forward and punish him for his mistakes. So it's a fight that Larios could make a little bit easier for himself if it was in his nature, but as you can see, it is not in his nature. He's still trying to get himself into this.
Yeah, attempting to get the jab out and drive the looping right hand home. But the versatility all with Pacquiao and the speed, a big difference.
See, at this pace, Larios does have chances of nicking the odd round, but there's the difference. When he raises the pace, puts punches together, you can see who the boss is.
Quick fire combinations again from Pacquiao. There's bruising under both eyes for Larios now to go with the cut on the left that they've patched up well in the corner. Again picking the left hand, Pacquiao.
Well, just at a time when it maybe looked as though because of the pace Larios could get himself back into things, Pacquiao just raises the pace again, shows who's the man.
Well, it's not often he fights in the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao, but when he does, he loves to give the crowd and his people a show, and that's what he's been doing.
Yeah, just when he puts his foot down on the pedal slightly, you can see he can get himself into control just whenever he pleases. Larios doing well, trying to get the jab moving, but in all the exchanges, Pacquiao far stronger, far more powerful.
9 minutes left in this one, which has been fought at a high pace. Plenty of courage shown by Oscar Larios, trying his very best in there, but the ability lies with Manny Pacquiao, and he's drawing away now. Pacquiao.
Yep, you can see it's everything for Pacquiao now, the 10-8 round and the 7th with the knockdown. So things really slipping away from Larios.
The three judges at ringside from France, Belgium and Thailand. As that left eye starts to get worse, and Mouse now on it for Larios. Really gutsy though, isn't he, the Mexican?
Yeah, I think the fact that Pacquiao has chosen to fight in little bursts as opposed to steady pressure is the reason that Larios is still in this, but these are good punches. These are draining punches. Difficult to come back from. Arm punches coming back from Larios now, but still nothing wrong with the spirit.
And this the round that he stopped Eric Morales in January of this year. Steady pressure, grinding his man down. Still Larios hangs in there. He must have really whipped his body into shape, Larios, for this one.
I mean, this is not a bad round from Larios here. First signs that Pacquiao may be beginning to feel the pace a little bit himself. He's the one looking to hold up close there. Yeah, good response there from Pacquiao, but he's happy to step off, get his breath back. Larios still coming forward, trying to work every second.
Step back, Oscar.
Yeah, fighting in bursts this round, Manny Pacquiao. Maybe trying to save a bit of energy. Good defense though. Moves around his man well. Ringcraft and generalship, but he's showing more now than he did previously in his career, Pacquiao. That's the big improvement.
Still hasn't put an enormous dent in Larios. Larios still looking to come forward at every opportunity. He's finishing the round well, Pacquiao, but a lot of lazy spells in this round from him.
Yeah, best round for a while for Oscar Larios, who's still got to take punishment, but he gave as good as he got in that one. Well, he may just have stopped the rot or slowed it down. Deep breathing from Pacquiao.
I don't think we've seen the intensity from Pacquiao that we expected. I mean, a lot of people thought he would have blown Larios away just with the sheer power, strength of his punches. But he's fought in bursts. A lot of the time he's been looking to counter and punish Larios for the mistakes. A lot of control in his boxing, but that's one of the reasons Larios is still there.
Do you think maybe he hasn't quite got himself up for this, Pacquiao, as he would have for a Barrera or Morales?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't blame him for thinking that someone coming up from 2 divisions below that he's going to blow them away. I think he expected to be blowing Larios away, especially with the aggressive style that Larios has. But Larios at this stage looks to be lasting the pace a little bit better than Pacquiao. Big deep breaths in the previous round.
Pacquiao just bobbing and weaving. Both been 12 rounds before. Larios more. And after the traumatic 7th and 8th rounds, particularly, Larios has done well to come back positively.
Well, that was the first solid left hand we've seen that Larios has been able to take and walk right through. So maybe not the same snap in Pacquiao's punches now. That one landed cleanly and he just walked right through it with his own punches.
Could there be a twist late on as Pacquiao again decides to try Larios' ribs out, go to the body. Really worked on that, him and Freddie Roach. Not as sustained, the attacks from Pacquiao.
He looks like a man who's pacing himself because he knows maybe he's not in 100% shape. He's paced himself all the way through this fight. There's not been the intensity, but we've seen a lot more technique. We've seen a lot more method in what he's doing. Larios for the first time looking to back off and have a little bit of a breather now. But we've criticised Pacquiao for being a bit crude in the past. Well, he's not been crude tonight. He's picking the punches nicely. So we're seeing another side to him and still well in control. Certainly well ahead on my card.
Yeah, Pacquiao has 4 bodyguards wherever he goes here in the Philippines. Had to take in a movie premiere as well the other night. Had to do it because the film was about him. Amazing.
Well, he is a major star. But yeah, we're seeing a different side to him. But I just wonder, has he been pacing himself since the halfway stage just simply because maybe the stamina that should be there is not there? And this is good stuff though.
Maybe he's just trying things out with a thought beyond to the super fights that may be on the horizon. Quite around. Larios still trying to get spring into the step. Done ever so well to withstand the middle sessions and that damage to the eye. But he's not winning this, not at all. Well, how pleased do you think the fans will be of their man?
I think everything that Pacquiao does pleases the fans. I don't know that he'll be all that pleased. I think he fancied, even Freddie Roach uncharacteristically was saying this could be a one-round job. I'm very surprised to read that, but I don't think Pacquiao would be fancying this one to go the distance.
Final round of what's been an entertaining affair, full of action, and got to give Oscar Larios credit for that, for not running. He stood his ground. But here is Manny Pacquiao doing what he does best. He's on the front foot now. He's just got that little focus again about him. He'll want to finish the job well.
Yeah, I think there's maybe the possibility he has underestimated the toughness and the grit of Larios.
Break.
But you would imagine he would want to finish this on a high.
Interesting division, of course. 9 stone 4 with Jorge Barrios, the WBO champion. Marco Antonio Barrera, Rocky Juarez. They're set to meet again, we expect. So there's plenty there. And Eric Morales, maybe one more time for Pacquiao, as he tries to ease home against Larios. There's no doubt he'll be a mile ahead, Jim, no doubt.
Yeah, no question whatsoever. I'm just surprised at the amount of counter punching he's been doing. We expected him to take the initiative a lot more, push Larios back, who is not half as effective when you push him back, but it just hasn't happened.
Still, Larios comes forward and throws punches of his own. This is one gallant gladiator. He really is full of heart and determination, that will to win. The difference has just been in class really tonight. Pacquiao just looking down at the crowd, but back he goes onto the mission, and down Larios goes. Second time in the fight, in the final round. 40 seconds left, and maybe he deserves to hear the final bell, Oscar Larios, but will Pacquiao let him?
Yeah, you can see the way he kind of sagged to the canvas there. His own punches don't have much snap now. I think he's looking forward to hearing this final bell.
20 seconds to go. Can Pacquiao get the stoppage? Larios grits his teeth. Oh, so very, very brave. He's done everything that's been asked of him and more, Oscar Larios, to play his part. But Manny Pacquiao surely has got win number 42, to the delight of the thousands here in the Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City. He gets held aloft, Manny Pacquiao, and Oscar Larios ends up on his feet. And I think, Jim, that's fair.
Yeah, well, a landslide victory for Manny Pacquiao. You can see it, 109, 117-109 on my card. But that doesn't reflect the effort that Oscar Larios put into this. He worked every second of every round, as he always does. Did not stop coming forward. And I think he's gained the respect of everyone, including Manny Pacquiao. But the difference in power was always going to tell. That was the knockdown of 12. You can see the way he sagged and how long he took here. He tried to get up from that position, but he couldn't quite do it, really. He was drained by the end of the fight here. But imagine stepping up 2 weight divisions to face on fire Manny Pacquiao. It was always a huge ask. Not too many people fancy he could pull it off.
The left eye held up, so too did his heart and spirit, Oscar Larios. Manny Pacquiao scoring 2 knockdowns in an entertaining 12 rounds, and surely the decision is just mathematical. Pacquiao the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, Humbert Borgoni scores at 117-110. Daniel Vanderveer, 118-108. Nofarat Swicharwan, 120. 106 to the winner and still champion, the Fighting Pride of the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao.
Good fight. Sum up Pacquiao's performance.
Yeah, well, I say we saw a different side to him. We showed he can box when he has to box. He won't be all that happy with it, but it was an impressive performance. Wonderful fight.
When did you sense you were starting to break him down?
I'm not expecting him. I'm gonna knock him down, but I do my best in the fight. I do my best to show the people.
It was a great fight. Larios came to fight. I mean, you know, I didn't think he'd go the distance. He proved me wrong. He's very game. He had me worried in the third round, and he fought a great fight. It was a great fight.
The next one is Morales on November 18. So Morales 3 is gonna be in Las Vegas.
Truly outstanding.